Okay, it looks like we're live. Let's just double check that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the YouTube. I see your screen. It looks great.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Great. All right. So welcome everyone from the internet. So we've got a great game lined up. This is Kevin Tame playing as Kevin Tame and Jonas Wilson playing as the Big Unit 3000 in round 5 of season 2 of the online cash refresh league. This is a big game for both of our players. Why don't you tell us what your situation is?
Well, my situation is I am at 18 prestige. 21 prestige is probably going to get in the cut, but there's a lot of people on the bubble here. And it's looking a little bit dire because I got paired up against people who don't have the best prestige right now. So my strength schedule is a little bit in the dumps right now. But, I mean, I'm playing Kevin. He's kind of in the top of the pack, so my strength of schedule is going to go up a little bit just by playing Kevin. But
that's perfect. Yeah,
I'll definitely be. If I split, I'll probably be 8th to like 12th or something like that, depending upon how things shake up.
Cool.
Yeah, so, Kevin, how would you assess your tactical situation right now? Oh, do we have Kevin?
I'm going to speak for Kevin. I think that if he loses both games to me, he'll totally be all right.
That might actually.
He's already got the 21 prestige. He'll be fine. He's got good strength of schedule. It's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that might be true. Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds like a challenging situation, but Jonas is a super strong player, and Kevin should be afraid of being humiliated if nothing else.
Right.
Yeah, it's always embarrassing to lose to somebody with such a poor strength of schedule.
All right. So Sanjay is talking. If I didn't introduce him, he's giving some great commentary, and if you guys want to start it up.
Yeah, and make sure that both of you are not able to hear us while the game is ongoing.
Yeah. Should I hang up on the call, or?
If you can mute it, that would be ideal. So that way you can come back on once the in between games, and that would be the ideal. Yeah.
Okay, so just you mute all my sound. Okay.
Yeah, and don't watch the stream.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Talk to you guys soon.
All right, see ya. Bye.
It's just you and me now, Sanjay.
All right, sounds great. Sounds like we just got a message from Kevin saying that his mic is having a little bit of trouble.
Okay.
So we just have to find the game.
Let's do it.
Is it somewhere that? Oh, here we go.
Oh, I need a password. Maybe they'll tell me the password.
Oh, I just got right in there.
Oh, really? Maybe I was too slow. What? Oh, I need to log into TechieNet.
Yeah. Got to prove who you are.
Yeah. All right. Oops. God, this is this is my first day.
I think they might restart it with hands visible to spectators.
Gotcha. Cool. Here we go. There's you. There's me.
Yay! This is exciting.
Okay. And we verified we have legal decks. Everything is looking good.
Yeah, even cache refresh compliant. So great.
Yeah, that's a really cool feature on TechieNet.
Yeah. Ooh, so we got Smokey versus HB.
Yeah. So it looks like Jonas is on the Sandberg plan, which is super strong right now, especially ETF keeps a lot of its strong econ in this format. You still have Maryland, you still have the ETF ability. So without rumor mill to kind of clamp down on that is hard to deal with sometimes.
Yeah, that's pretty insightful. And I think one thing I'm not sure about in cache refresh is how aggressively you have to sort of rush out versus smoke. Like, are you terrified of just smoke getting set up and then you can't stop her whatsoever? This is an interesting starting hand for Jonas in terms of it not really having any econ.
Yeah.
I guess it does have some like
slim.
yeah, it does have some nice like end the run ice, which is cool if you do want to rush out.
Yeah, so he just put the wall of static. I didn't see which one that went over, but that was a wall of static and FC3 that went up.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think there's a way to embiggen this. Maybe not. There we go.
Looks like Kevin has prepared for dealing with a bunch of assets here. Seeing the Parishas, that's one of the few legal dedicated anti-asset cards that you get.
Yep. So he's probably feeling pretty good about this right now. With two Parisias, he's probably going to drop them as soon as he gets a chance in an open server, and just start reeling. He might hang back a little bit and let Jonas kind of start getting comfortable and put out a couple of naked remotes before he starts messing around with it.
It's pretty nice to have the road turret just fire as a big dumb end the run instead of killing anything. So that's probably a little bit disappointing for Jonas that he didn't get to eat anything with it.
Yeah. But then again, I mean, Jonas really needs that ABT to go through right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially if he's late on econ, he's definitely, I don't know, he might well fire it and see what comes up. I don't really know how dense his deck is. A lot of Moon's decks don't run a lot of ice. So I don't know what his plan is here. Oof.
All right, now he doesn't have to worry about scoring out that pain in the neck agenda.
Paper trail, okay. Nice.
Nice fire. Nice.
Ooh, that may have been.
Oh, nice.
I think that may have been a little mistake there. Did you install?
It looks like he got a toll booth for free and two trash 2 cards, and those cards were nothing.
Looks like a Warroid and Adonis, so not so bad.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That could not have gone better. He even gets the little credit for installing something on his turn.
All right, so Kevin's set up enough now that he's not, joking around. He's just showing him, yeah, I've got my Parisias out. I'm going to tear some shit up.
Yeah.
I think that was the Adonis just went in there.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that remote's pretty safe. Though he does have the Fem in hand, which is just the perfect counter to Toll Booth. A nice little corset on corset action.
Yeah, so he'll probably get there pretty quick once he gets daily casts out, and Beth is going to start trickling in money pretty much immediately because Jonas is going to bounce back into her lowest tier of rewards pretty quickly.
Yeah, it looks like he has all the tools he needs to get into the scoring remote to save money. So it's actually a pretty interesting situation because Jonas is very low on money, and having this Adonis tick away is very good for him. But he only has so much time to rush out. He can still find scoring windows, via taxing the runner and all. But eventually, that remote is not going to be nearly as secure as it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Jonas is probably wondering what sort of, econ plan Kevin is on, whether he's running Magnum Opus or he's running Temujins or what. He hasn't seen any influence yet. So, okay, so icing archives might indicate that he thought that was a possibility. Yeah,
that's pretty insightful. It at least turns off that dirty laundry. That's nice. Or
cool.
I suppose
Kevin hasn't seen a lot of his breakers yet. He's got SMC. It seems like he's hanging back a minute and will be able to drop pretty much his entire rig in a single turn when he needs to, and try to sneak out a win real quick or sneak out a score real quick.
Yeah, I'm sure that Kevin was very happy to see his blue moves early. Though it's actually interesting here that because he saw it so early, he actually it's just been sitting on the table not doing anything for a turn or two because he ran out of things in his heap. Yeah, you probably shore up a little bit more. Oh, that's very interesting.
All right, now we're cooking.
Oh, that's a really interesting and cool play.
It's interesting that he dropped the Warroid. I guess he dropped the Warroid into the deep server. I would expect that to go on to server 2.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking it would go too, especially because at some point that Adonis is no longer going to be there, and it's just going to have a agenda that doesn't care about Warroid trackers at all. I wonder if Jonas might have some other defensive upgrades besides.
He did mulligan a Sandberg in his first hand, so he might be planning to drop the Sandberg and Warroid in there and just money up, and then be able to score out behind a single ice or two.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
So that could be his plan, just to turtle up. Having archives covered up, also indicates that he's not going to let anybody get in. No successful runs today.
Yeah, we're seeing some really top tier play insofar as no sooner did Jonas shore up his last undefended remote than Kevin drew 3 dirty laundries.
Yeah. Kevin is probably really wishing he had at least one target for those right now. And that's been an interesting thing in Cache Refresh is that between Aeneas Informant and Ma and Temujin Contract, leaving open remotes is, there's definitely a lot of ways the runner is going to punish you for that.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see whether we get a res out of this.
Yeah, he's on 9 credits. Yeah. So I guess, let's see, Fairchild 2. So he's going to eat that. Or yeah.
Yeah, the brain damage has a chance to hit some pretty important things here.
Yeah.
The Fem would be pretty good. The dagger would be pretty good. Or is it a dagger? Yeah, the dagger would be pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much the only thing he wants to lose here is dirty laundry.
The medium would be fine. Yeah, the medium would be okay, but still disappointing to see. And then this is the last click, so he's getting this brain damage, so he's going to lose one more card, but that's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, probably pay the 4 credits and still have his Parisias out.
Yeah.
So that he can get in there and trash it for free at least.
Yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah, I suppose you could pay 2 and lose 1 Parisha or something. Yeah. Oh, he got the Fem.
Ouch.
That toll booth is looking a lot stronger.
I thought it was 3 credits to pay. Yeah. Okay. We're working it out. So those Parisias are looking good right now.
Yeah, it does get the trash that for free.
Oh, he didn't use the Parisias.
That's interesting. Oh, I think he might have. Jinteki might not have let him because he didn't have the credits in his credit pool. So,
I think you can add them to your pool when you're accessing.
When you absolutely can. You absolutely can. I think once the dialogue is open, it might not let you.
Oh, okay.
But certainly, if Kevin wants to trash it, he is able to. But I mean, I think it's his call. Like the Parishas are on the table; they're his cards. Yeah. I'd probably intervene about it in like a casual game, but probably not here, which is unfortunate. Yeah.
That is a bummer because that would have been a big setback for Jonas's econ.
Yeah. The fact that they're taking down now is pretty nice.
Yeah. On the other hand, once Jonas hits, at this rate, he's going to hit 15 credits pretty quickly. And if Kevin is hanging back and, building his rig up, then he's going to get into the 5-click territory real quick.
Yeah. The fact that the Fem is gone is kind of a big deal because that was probably the best answer to this toll booth. Jonas is going to be able to set up econ-related scoring windows a lot better without Fem to worry about. Now, Clone Chip is in creation and control. Is that correct? I think it is.
It is, yeah. So
yeah. Ooh.
Click through, and he's also going to get the gauntlet trigger, so he'll get to access
Oh, nice.
2 cards here. One of them is the Sapper. That's brutal.
Oof. Nice. Those were the exact perfect accesses he could have gotten for Jonas, because the Sapper, of course, trashes the program, and then the Friends in High Places just instills a sense of dread and hopelessness, which has immeasurable benefits to you as a corp.
Yeah, you can't put a value on, horror.
Yeah, exactly. This seems like a pretty safe score. Well, I guess Kevin is on 11 credits, so if he had the tech, he could probably get on through this. But
yeah, I mean,
yeah, this is really interesting because
it's looking.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's not running any AIs, I don't think, and so
yeah,
he's gonna need to get 2 breakers on the table within the first 3 clicks to make this happen.
Yeah, the FEM actually would have gotten through the server all on its own. It's really devastating that he lost it.
Yeah,
because he could have just installed that on the toll booth and walked through the server for 3 credits. Instead, Jonas gets a pretty safe score here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's on 5 points. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah. I imagine he might just jam that last GFI. I mean, that server's looking super secure right now.
Yeah. Why not? It'll cost you your turn and 2 credits, but that might be worth it to just go for it now while the runner's on the back foot. Because especially
this is interesting. So Kevin's actually looking like he'll be able to contest it this turn or this next turn, because he'll be able to get SMC on the board. And he's already got the dagger down. So with since Rototurret is strength 0, he doesn't need to burn any stealth credits on the dagger, so he'll have enough available for whatever his refractor is.
Yeah.
Or decoder is to get through it.
That's a really good point. And I guess I assume Jonas is on 3 ABTs, so he has the biotic in hand, so he might not go for the GFI score just because.
Yeah, he might run the pad campaign.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
And put an asset in there as a never advance and make Kevin think that he's going to score it out next turn. And
yeah, even better with this Maryland campaign, playing never advance.
Yeah, because even once he gets in there, that Warrior Tracker is going to make it really not a lot of fun for him to trash it.
Yeah. How much is Warrior Tracker to res again?
Are they in the bin? No. I think it's 1 or 2, maybe.
All I know is that it's 0 if you are Architects of Tomorrow.
All right.
We have 1 Architects of Tomorrow player in the Cash Refresh tournament. It is not.
It hasn't done its thing.
I don't know.
Or has it? I mean, I think it's a it's a really fun idea. I think it's it's not as good as ETF in terms of sheer econ. I played it quite a bit, and not having real credits as opposed to getting discounts really does set you back a little bit. But I mean, I guess Loki came out this cycle, and that seems like a pretty good buy reward dice, but I've never actually gotten around to playing with it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think as long as you're willing to consider the discounts you're getting as credits, the econ is about the same, and really, I would say if Architects of Tomorrow does well on any front, it is econ. But ETF is so much more flexible. So Kevin is not
That's interesting.
biting the bait in server 1, which is nice.
Ooh. We'll see if he remembers his Parisia credits this time. There he goes. Great.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was great. I think he got one off of R&D with the Maker's Eye run and then one out of HQ.
Yeah, pretty.
So,
I don't think he got anything off of R&D. He already had the paper trail, right?
Oh, I mean, he got one of the Marylands off of R&D.
Oh, nice. The
Maryland campaigns, yeah.
Nice.
So he's digging his way through the econ, but that's hard to see. I think that's the pad in server 3.
Yeah, that sounds right. Ooh. I suppose at the moment, Jonas doesn't really have enough econ to make that Sandberg terribly terrifying, especially against Smoke, who can jump up in strength pretty efficiently.
Yeah. Oof, what a gross card. Man, this card is so good.
Have you had a chance to play with it much yet?
Oh yeah. Actually I fit a couple of them into my Cast Refresh deck, my Corp deck.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, because I'm playing Ag Infusion and being able to fast advance Nisei.
Oh yeah.
Or being able to if you don't use both click abilities in the same turn, but you use the place one power counter at the end of one turn and then click to trash on your next turn, then you can square out a 5/3 from hand. So
yeah, that sounds great.
All right, so the Naked Sandberg went down.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's not a very high value asset at the moment.
No, because I mean, like right now, Jonas is happy just to sit back and tax Kevin's clicks out and make him, check everything. And at some point, he's going to draw into that second ABT, and that'll be the game.
Yeah, probably Jonas's biggest priorities right now are to keep from being R&D locked and keep from hemorrhaging too many other agendas. So if he can waste Kevin's time and money, he's in pretty good shape. Yeah, his two iced up remotes are a little bit busy right now, so probably not worth putting the MCA austerity policy into anything. Yeah. Interesting that Jonas just drew the third GFI, not an agenda that's very convenient to score. I suppose that could make Jonas interested in putting the MCA austerity policy down, but that's probably not worth it.
Yeah. Though, if his plan right now is to slow down Kevin long enough to get the next ABT, then putting austerity into server 1 and just, draining Kevin of a click and making him deal with that remote that he doesn't want to get into if he can avoid it, might also be reasonable.
Yeah, that's a good. It's a kind of a decision point in that both options seem pretty valid. Just letting the Adonis tick down has decent value. I don't know how much the ice on R&D costs exactly, and how taxing it is. That's probably one of them is probably the wall of static, which not a very taxing ice.
Yeah, the bottom one is the wall of static. I don't remember what the top one was.
Yeah, and Blackstone doesn't have a great matchup against quite a few barriers, but that native strength 3 is pretty nice against 3 strength barriers.
There it goes. Okay, so the austerity went down. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, there it is. Cool. And a little bit of Jackson Howard replacement there, using preemptive to get back in. Yep, the Friends and Sandberg.
Not bad.
So yeah, so I guess he's hoping that he'll Friends back in some of these things at some point. And if he's really going all in on moons, then it makes sense to leave a little bit of stuff in archives that you can install quickly with Friends in High Places.
Yeah. I would expect to see Kevin check HQ here. especially with the MCA austerity policy ticking down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is a bit taxing. It's going to be.
It's like you read his mind.
Yeah. Well, you know, if the runner installs Gauntlet and runs HQ a few times, we'll be able to predict that they're going to run HQ again. The most interesting thing that could happen here is if he sees the biotic.
Yeah.
I don't think he has seen it yet, because that just is sort of a signal that Jonas is on or that Kevin's on a clock. Hear about you know, whether you draw into the ABT, because you really don't want, because HQ is not looking very secure here, with Kevin just getting consequence-free neutralize all threats every run. But at the same time, you want to find the ABT as soon as possible, so it's a tough call. At the moment, Kevin is not locking R&D locking, so I suppose Jonas is in okay shape to just wait to find it.
Yeah, I mean, if he clicks MCA this turn and then next turn clicks it again, then he'll be able to do the click trash and biotic. And I think he still has a click to draw. He has a click or two to draw. So he actually, you know, it'd be a bit of a risk, but he has the ability to kind of let stuff simmer in R&D for a minute and then, you know, just go really hard in the next turn or so for a win agenda.
Being able to just spend a click and gain 4 clicks, it gives you a certain amount of flexibility.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that would let him have a 7-click turn, which gives you a lot of room to make things happen.
Yeah, you should probably be able to throw out a 3-2 in a 7 clicks at least. You can even install Purge and advance. That's pretty spicy. So we see the Temujin, which is pretty exciting, and it's pretty exciting on HQ. Now it could also go on R&D so that Kevin can keep an R&D lockdown, which looks maybe like what he's on 6 credits and he doesn't know what the R&D ice is, so that might not be very appealing. Ooh, so he drew the.
So I think he can score it this turn then, because he uses the first 2 clicks to gain 4. And then use the biotic and score it out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. Pretty good card.
Yeah.
That was a tough match, but man, Kevin got really close there. I was when the started, but that was looking rough.
Yeah, that was a close game because I think Kevin was 1 turn away from, you know, starting to pummel R&D.
Yeah. That was very cool.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna pop in mid games, but if not, we'll just follow them to the next game. Where is it? Smoke versus HB or ETF again?
No, I believe the Jonas is actually on Inversificator kit.
Ooh. Fun.
Yeah.
Look at the power of this GFI. Disgusting. He's got 8 points worth of agendas in his score area, and he didn't win the game. All right, cool.
Oh, I think maybe is Jonas muted?
Hello.
There we go.
Hello.
Congratulations on winning half a match.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you think was the critical, what was the critical play for you there? Or what was the
turn 2, hammering that ABT in that remote and praying.
Yeah.
I was heavily flooded early, and I needed to get that fire to get some sort of pressure to get Kevin to start digging for breakers instead of building up his econ early.
Yeah, Tollbooth and
that was also
Tollbooth and 2 friends in high places targets is not a terrible ABT fire, I guess.
Oh yeah. Hello.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Kevin.
Man, my mic finally works.
Hey, all right. That was a tough game, man. We were talking. It was
you top decked that, Jonas?
I sure did. I top deck it like the best of them.
I felt like I was doing pretty good HQ pressure.
Oh yeah. The gauntlet's just all you need. Just keep pressuring HQ with the gauntlet.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, I think I'm okay not running there, and I was like maybe gonna run R&D, but I wanted to set up for that, start digging R&D.
Yeah, equivocation's pretty good for that.
It's really bananas how good MCA austerity is with Biotic, where you can kind of top deck a 4-2, click to draw even, and still have time to score it.
Yeah, I was thinking of like I don't know, like you had the war right in there. It was like tough to go in and try and deal with that.
Yeah, I was debating whether or not I wanted to put like a third ice on there or anything like that, but ultimately I decided. It
was already taxing for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't see Temujin at all until the very end.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, so I was like, ugh. And well, it would have been rough anyways because like you had iced up everything so well.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point in the game, we saw Jonas finally iced his last uniced server, and then Kevin draws 3 dirty laundries in a row.
I sat there forever. I was like, ugh. I was like, this is annoying.
Yeah, and then Fairchild 2 didn't even have the dignity to trash one of them when you got brain damaged.
Yeah, losing that Fem to brain damage was really that must have hurt. I mean, that was making server 1 look a lot more manageable.
Well, I was going to put it on Tollbooth to deal with that. Yeah, it was.
Wow, yeah, that's a good solution.
What happened there was I drew those dirty laundry, and then I was stuck with them, right? And then I'm like, oh crap. Okay, I'm gonna just check this server over here. I don't think he put a Fairchild on it. A Fairchild 3, I was assuming. Like it's probably just some ETR ice. It won't be that bad. And then I didn't have the money to deal with it at all. I should have probably do it a little better.
Well, that was a great game. I'm looking forward to enjoying it again at some point, and kind of really looking at all the lines of play. It was cool. There were a lot of interesting decisions made, Kevin, when you were looking at like building up versus pressuring, and Jonas trying to control the tempo and figure out when to slow him down with assets and when to dig for your pieces was really cool.
The 2 critical plays were me hitting that Fairchild 2 and losing the Fem, and then hitting the Sapper. That was like I did not expect that.
Sapper's that spicy tech. Nobody Sapper out of HP.
I did not expect that. And losing that SMC, I had to then I think the next turn I drew Diesel or something like that.
Yeah.
I had to look for Houdini or like another SMC.
Yeah. Did you? Last question is: did you guys tech for each other's decks, or did you know what you're getting into, or was this just kind of general stuff?
Was the only thing I knew I needed, but I've had that pretty much the entire time, except when I played you.
Yeah, I put in more ice. I knew that you were on Precious, so I took out a pad or something like that. But yeah, I just put in a little bit more ice.
I felt pretty good about my start, Blue Moose and Beth and the Precious.
Oh, yeah.
This is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It started off cool.
It's always a good start.
Cool. Well, should we go on to the next one?
Yeah. Let's find the next game.
Cool. See you guys soon.
Yeah.
You can tell the competitive, the caliber of these players that they make their cash refresh games in the competitive lobby rather than the casual one. It's kind of like a called shot. Like, it's going to be competitive. Everybody.
Yeah, they're pretty good in this game.
Yeah, I just played my Cash Refresh game in the casual lobby, and it was pretty casual.
Nice. You did you guys split? Is that right? You split with the
Yeah,
game?
we split. I had my very first loss with my corp and my very first win with my runner.
Nice. Are you doing Tenon again, or is this a different corp this time around?
No, Harmony Medtech.
Oh, Harmony. That's right.
And
that's right.
and Honor and Profit Oracle May Noise.
Oof.
All right, so we are in the game.
Yeah. So Jonas is running Inversificator kit, I'm almost certain, unless he's made some major changes. And he's probably feeling pretty good about seeing Magnum Opus and 2 diesels in his opening hand.
Ooh, the Personal Touch is a cool include here. I haven't seen that in Cash Refresh kit. That's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonas's hand has everything but the breaker that you might ever want and 2 diesels to find it. That's pretty good. Kevin mulliganed the first hand, which makes sense because he had no econ and has drawn a pretty interesting follow-up.
Yeah.
I'm
not sure
how this plays out. Yeah.
Is that Jonas checking to see what cycle Astrolabe is in? Yep, it's lunar.
Yeah, you can still play it post-rotation, but you cannot play it right now. You would be a cheater.
Yep. So Kevin's got a nice econ mix. Ooh, Dag Deer. All right. That's interesting. I bet that he's on deep data mounting then. Because Gala gives you 2 MU, he's rarely going to need more than Inversificator for his breaker suite. So if you can,
the Deck Gear install is interesting because I guess he really wanted to put the Magnum Opus on it, so he had to do it a little inefficiently, where he installs Deck Gear, clicks for credit, and installs Magnum Opus as opposed to Magnum Opus, click for credit, click for credit, Deck Gear or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess the Mu is worth it.
Yeah. So I missed the other card that went down, but that was an Adonis and something else.
Yeah, maybe Maryland.
That could be.
This is a very interesting start to this game because Kevin doesn't really have a lot of action. Looking at this deck, I assume he's got moons in there, and Jonas has a lot of what he needs, but not his breaker. So, yeah, it's sort of a race to see who can actually turn their deck on first.
Yeah, and so these it's good that Jonas is checking them, but he's going to run out of gas here pretty quick if he tries to trash everything. And Kevin is going to be seeing moons at some point, and that friend is just going to turn things on fire. So
yeah,
we shall see.
Yeah, Magnum Opus is an interesting card against asset spam because generally it's too slow, but it is nice as just a source of economy that never runs out. So against some slower asset spam starts, you can just say, okay, click, click, run, trash your thing, click, click, run, trash your thing, and keep up that way. I don't think it doesn't look like Kevin has few enough things for that to be a valid line of play against him, but sometimes that can happen. Jonas has been very disciplined here, I think, not firing this Maker's Eye into an empty, undefended R&D, just because it would just be some random accesses and send him back 2 credits, which maybe the credits right now are more important than anything else.
Yeah, that's true.
I think this is the first time I've seen Wampoa Reclamation in action.
Yeah, me too. It's it seems pretty good.
Yeah. Nice. I think especially seeing the second Maker's Eye makes this Maker's Eye pretty good. Pretty low cost.
Yeah, and having the gauntlet means that he doesn't feel, a huge need to pressure R&D or lock it right now because he knows that he's going to be able to get some good multi-access down the road.
Yeah, it's nice that the clone chip allows him to just stash the nanotech in the bin. Pretty cool. So Kevin right now is in a position where he has a decent amount of money. Though his ice is pretty expensive. He's got the toll booth and the Fairchild 3. But even though he doesn't really have, he isn't really getting his assets flowing, he might be in a position to make something happen.
Yeah, he might start icing up a remote and put MCA in there and start charging it up with the hope of eventually swapping that out for a Moons.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Also, MCA is a pretty mean card against somebody on a magnum opus economy.
Huh. All right. So he's just hit an R&D hard. He stole one.
Oh, I think he's taking that back. We'll have to see if that was a misclick or a misconsideration. I think Jonas is probably... Okay.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, because he's not going to be able to trash anything. Kevin's on 11 credits, though, so he's going to be able to res pretty much anything in his deck at this point.
Yeah, I don't recall whether this is the Fairchild 3 or the Fairchild 3 is on server 4. I don't know whether you res here. I suppose he's only actually seeing 2 fresh cards, unless I'm misremembering. No, these are all fresh cards because he stole 1 GFI on the last access.
Yeah, and so Kevin click drew. And I think that's just a macrophage over R&D, so he's definitely not standing to gain a whole lot by resing that right now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I guess that was a Warrage in server 4 because you just put the MCA on top of there.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. And that one I think is behind the Fairchild 3.
Yeah, the Parishas show up right in time as Kevin's starting to make some pretty problematic and scary assets. Yeah, Fairchild 3 comboed with MC austerity policy seems very mean.
Yeah. There's always Jackson Clare.
Yeah, I suppose Kit is I love Jackson Clare. What a great card. Once Underworld Contact rotates out, probably the best reason to be sunny.
All right, so Jonas is at least going to get pressure on in a big way for these assets and clear Kevin out.
Yeah, of course he's not able to trash the asset he really wants to trash, but sometimes life is all about settling. Sometimes we'll have to see if during this game we see a very awkward difference between the wording of Parisha and the wording of Scrubber and Wizard. Insofar as Kevin has Santan City Grid in his hand, which is an upgrade, not an asset.
Not an asset. Nope.
Yeah,
critically not an asset.
Yeah, you cannot, even though the art of Parisha almost looks like a bird overwhelming Santan City Grid itself.
Yeah, I recognize that grid.
Yeah, look at these cards back to back. This Santan City Grid is in the art of Parisha, and you cannot trash Santan City Grid with Parisha. This is outrageous.
That's totally Sansan.
I don't think I ever noticed that before. This is disgusting.
That's cruel.
So
so this is interesting.
Yeah. So one interesting thing
Kevin,
here is that. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Kevin. I mean, Kevin could have scored out the ABT on last turn by clicking MCA and then using it and then scoring ABT immediately.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe he's just feeling strong enough right now. The Jonas doesn't have, a very threatening rig at the moment, though. SMC and 7 credits goes a pretty long way.
Yeah, I suppose it's a pretty fair assumption because Fairchild 3 is pretty tactic nice.
Yeah.
Plus, he's got the War-Aid tracker in there, which would be kind of a pain for Jonas to reckon with on his 2 credits as he's on.
Yeah. It's interesting that by taking out Wampa Reclamation there, he's made scored ABT a lot less exciting to fire off for Kevin.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Yeah, so Kevin's in a situation here where he has the ability to fast advance a ABT, but it's not extremely attractive because you could sure advance something. You could sure score out something better than that with 3 extra clicks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to see if he goes for it. He doesn't have anything that'll help him. Well, I guess he has another Wampoa in hand, so I guess especially, and also with the Sansan, which notably cannot be trashed by Parisha, he has a great way of scoring out that ABT besides the MCA austerity policy. This is a really weird position that he's in.
Yeah, because, I mean, Jonas is going to get in there and is going to take out his econ assets, even if he's only down to 3 clicks a turn. And so Kevin doesn't have a ton of money to play with here. Scoring the ABT with MCI austerity policy is probably the most appealing way to score it, just in terms of not going totally broke and letting Jonas start hammering R&D.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels bad. It feels. I mean, I think he may be waiting for a GFI to show up, thinking that MCA is going to be secure enough where it is. Okay.
Oh, that's an interest. That's cool. So that's a very interesting line of play to just use the MCA as a way to just get a supermoon.
Yeah. Oof, man. That was a supermoon, though.
Yeah. Wow, that was a cool line of play that I did not see.
Yeah, that's great. So, so he used the 6 click. Did he make him lose a click first? No, he took all 6 clicks.
Yeah.
So, or 7 click turn to all that. And it's pretty good.
Yeah. And it still means that he doesn't get to cash in the MCA informant for a bigger agenda than the ABT, but he's probably going to be able to score out this ABT. It looks like I didn't totally follow everything, but I would guess that the Santan City Grid and the ABT are in server 4 along with the War-Aid tracker.
Yeah, that's correct.
Which is, even ignoring the 2 ice that are there, pretty daunting thing to deal with. And Kevin is on a virtual 16 credits if you count the Estelle Moon. So he's probably able to res 2 ice.
Yeah, absolutely.
With 2 credits worth of ice, or 2, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a really strong play because his econ has always been a little bit threatened by those 2 Parisias, and now he's got a quick way to get to 16, and probably be on 13 with the.
We're seeing a spicy include here.
Oh yeah,
Maxwell James, I love that. Especially with the gauntlet, you might want to be pecking HQ anyway.
Yeah.
Very cool include. And I suppose it has marginal utility in terms of just giving you a link.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only
I think that one of the cards in server 9 or 10 is another Wampoa that Kevin installed, if I'm not mistaken. So he's probably going to fire this off. And, well, then again, I don't know how much ice in his deck. That could, these 5 ice might be a significant portion of what he's got in his deck.
Yeah, this might be a situation where it's a relatively safe ABT, but you don't need it, so you don't fire it. Because I guess how excited you are to fire an ABT is probably should probably be dependent on how dire you think the situation is. If you desperately need the help,
yeah,
firing the ABT is probably the right decision, even if it's a little speculative. But if you're in a really strong decision and the only way you lose the game is dumping 6 agenda points into archives, then maybe you don't. And it looks like Kevin is not doing the ABT thing, which I think is probably correct, because he does seem like he's in a very good position. Now Jonas does have 2 points already, and Kevin's centrals are not super strong, so Jonas does have a way to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
And there's no agendas on the table. There's no agendas in HQ. They're all there. And I'm sure Jonas is appreciating having the oppressive MCF there. Oh yeah. Having 4 clicks.
Yeah, super good.
Probably excited about having his breaker too, which he can mod it out on the cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that Jonas is in a good position right now to spend a couple of clicks powering up with Magnum Opus, and then mod it out in Versificator, maybe personally touch it, and then he's going to have a lot of central pressure all of a sudden. Yeah.
Interesting that Jonas is out of Mew for the time being. Now, I don't know what else he is expecting out of this self-modifying code, so he could just lose it now that he's found the Inversificator.
Yeah, he might be. I guess he probably has multiples of Inversificator in there, and so he could just be using it so he doesn't have to spend 2 clicks or 2 credits instead of a click to do the install. But
yeah, that makes sense.
With modded, that doesn't make as much sense, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he does have modded for. He can also mod it out Gauntlet and even Personal Touch. So there's decent value regardless.
And it works on hardware too. What a card!
Yeah, well, it's 2 influence. What a mod. 2 influence. You get 2 card types.
Yeah. All right. So he busted into Moons rather than let him take it.
Kevin draws some pretty fun stuff with the Stone Moon there, because I feel like Kevin still has a scoring window, or can probably build some, but he just but Jonas is fast getting to a point where that is not the case.
Yeah, I mean, if Kevin puts the what do you call it? The field test in server 4. Ooh, actually, you can score it immediately.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You might want to get Moons on the board first, because then he can just kind of go nuts and install, the pad. I guess he doesn't have a lot of other targets to install with the field test right now.
Yeah, he'd have to put, I guess, agendas on the table, which is less exciting. So he might just go for a score, or he could even. He has quite a few options here.
Yeah. It looks like he's just going to trickle them out. So probably, maybe pad into remote and field test into server 4. We'll see.
Yeah, that seems pretty good. Oh, forgot about friends. Oh. That's pretty nice.
And it looks like, I don't know. I mean, why not bring back austerity policy?
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. I mean, I mean, he's got to go for MCA. And
yeah, because HQ is pretty. Well, he might have a Wampoa on the board, right? Um,
I think he does.
Yeah. So one thing that's interesting here is that Kevin has some pretty scary remotes, and his ability to score out right now is pretty good. But Jonas has a gauntlet pointed at HQ, and there are 3 agendas there.
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah, absolutely.
Kevin,
I mean,
oh, neat. So it looks like Kevin might be using a Stell Moon to pad out. Oh, so I think what's going to happen is that Kevin is going to res Wampoa Reclamation on his turn, use the ability bottom one.
HQ
Yeah, so HQ is going to look a lot nicer once he's done doing all that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. I think that if Jonas runs HQ, then he probably shouldn't res. Well, we'll see. Depends on how much money Jonas has when he makes that run.
Yeah, it seems
because
pretty.
if he reses the toolwith is pretty expensive, but if he reses it and gives him, the extra gauntlet access, then that might well be worth, 8 credits.
Yeah.
Stim hack. What a great card.
Yeah. Certainly significant here is Wampoa's Reclamation's ability to put agendas on the bottom of your deck where they're extremely safe. Save for showing off. Which I think is in Order in Chaos. I think that's Cash Refresh legal. It is not hit Cash Refresh legal.
That's no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing that's probably not going to be a factor now, but since Wampoa bottoms the cards, it's actually kind of annoying if you don't have a way to shuffle your deck if you plan to score out at some point because your agendas all sit at the bottom of your deck. But he's got the Maryland on the board, so he'll be able to trigger a shuffle if he gets in a situation where he really needs it.
Oh, and here we're seeing pretty cool use of the SMC here. He's going to be able to stim hack into HQ, and Kevin has 2 not very good choices. He can res the ice on HQ and give Jonas a permanent multi-axis on HQ, or he can just let Jonas have a free whatever he wants with this SMC.
I think I'd let him. I think I'd let him in. I mean, Kevin is doing good on econ, but he'll go down to 5, I guess 11 with the moon on the table, which is not awful. Oh, I see. That's annoying because he's trying to use the Wampoa ability.
Might make sense to install it, and well, he has one in archives, right? He could just install that one and use that. Yeah. Oh, is there move bottom? Whoa.
Ooh, that sounds fun. Move that bottom.
Wow. Look at this. Look at these advanced techniques. We're learning a lot here on Cash Refresh Wednesday. Not only are we learning about a lot of cool play stuff, we are also learning about cool Jinteki.net tricks. Amazing. Right, nice.
Cool. So it looks like one of the field tests is gone. Great. Cool. Looks good. Yeah. So he's probably going to go ahead and get the Inversificator so as not to waste his stim hack bucks.
Yeah, pretty good. Ooh, that was nice. Ooh. And he even trashed probably the card he most wanted to, he least cared about.
Yeah, that really, could not have gotten a lot better for him in terms of that.
And now he's in a position he can contest this server 4 too, because he has Maxwell James, he has Inversificator. He can definitely walk in there if he'd like. Yeah. And getting that successful field test off the board is huge. Looks like he's not going for it, which I think is also pretty defensible, because he doesn't know.
It's okay though. It's okay though. There are. Oh wow. Oof. I was going to say that there are a lot of agendas in the bottom of R&D, but there's one on top too. So
yeah,
that works pretty well.
Yeah, I mean every line of play is defensible if it works.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think checking R&D is perfectly valid.
Yeah.
Because you know that Kevin just bottomed a lot of agendas. Oh, that's not the. I thought that was a successful field test.
No, he bottomed one of them, and the other one got stolen.
Oh, I thought he had all three. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting then, especially with Jonas maybe being able to pressure R&D. This is an interesting situation because Jonas might be able to lock Kevin pretty good. Now he does have Estelle Moon, which can fight through a lock once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is very interesting. And Kevin's in quite a bind here in terms of feeling a little reluctant to res ice just because it's not going to be that taxing, and you don't want Kit to do wacky Inversificator shenanigans. All right, we're seeing the toll booth res. Kevin has had enough.
Yeah. Oh, and he used Wampoa to bottom that agenda.
Yeah.
Just to be on the safe side. He probably isn't super happy about that because he had the biotic in hand, so he could have. Well, he's not.
But I think you have to bottom the agenda there.
Oh yeah.
So one interesting thing here is that the MCA austerity policy is ticking, and Jonas is pretty low on credits, and his economy is magnum opus, so that is nice. That said, Kevin, you could say that Kevin has a scoring window, but he's got at least 6 points of agendas on the bottom of R&D, so he doesn't have a lot of
Yeah, I mean, he's got enough credits right now. The best thing might be to overinstall. I mean, he's just waiting for 2 more, I guess, but he could have also overinstalled the Maryland server 12 to force the shuffle and get back into it. But, you know, he's got his field test now. So he will be able to score that next turn just doing the click MCA, click trash, and install advance 4 times.
Yeah. So while we were talking about that, I think, or I overlooked an interesting play that Jonas did using his Maxwell James to de-res the toll booth that he put on a remote server.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. So he said, you know, I don't want any more of this toll booth, and you can't have a second remote to tax me out. Because I mean, having the second remote to put moons in for a minute, is helpful. And now that he knows what's in there, and knows exactly how much it costs, you know, that's going to be in his favor.
So it looks like on this turn, if I'm tracking things correctly, Kevin should be able to score out that successful field test.
Yeah, that's right.
But firing the successful field test will just be nice. It won't be game breaking.
Mm-hmm. Though it would let him, if he chooses to, put the Sandberg down in one of those 2 remotes. And at 22 credits, that's going to make it a lot harder for Jonas to win off of you know, gauntlet accesses or taking R&D.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I guess the other nice thing about it is that he could even add that toll booth onto a 2 ice or 1 ice remote, because successful field test ignores all costs.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, true. All right, and let's see what he does with this guy. Oh, he's keeping an extra click.
Oh, so he could even, I guess the only thing you'd be doing that for is for friends in high places.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. He puts the toll booth on R&D for free. This is a very close game.
Yeah, Kevin's had a lot of really cool lines of play this game, like between using the MCA for the like Moon's mega install. And this play has been really, it's interesting. I mean, I think that, yeah, good call. So he was going for the friends with the last click. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I never feel as bad about these, about Moon's like kind of horizontal decks, because I feel like there are so many interesting lines of play in them.
Yeah, I think they're hard. I think it's hard to see some of them. I think there's always going to be a sort of disconnect between this deck is hard to figure out and difficult. You need to put in the time, and if somebody says I haven't put in the time and it is miserable playing against it, I'm not going to tell them they're wrong. But at the same time, yeah, like there is interesting play against these decks.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't know. Are top players happy right now? I don't know.
I don't know. We'd have to find some. I have no opinion on this matter then.
Yeah. I suppose they're very slightly happy because they finally announced Worlds tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jonas is in a tough situation here also because you kind of have to check these. I guess you don't have to. You have to check this one at least, because if it's a GFI, you can biotic score it. I guess maybe it's not that important. Regardless, he's checking.
Yeah.
And I forget what's on this server. Kevin is a bit poorer than he was before, so Sandberg is not quite as devastating as it might have been when we were looking at Kevin's giant credit total. I suppose you could.
Oh, okay.
Well, you might as well. It's free to res.
Yeah, sure. That should be strength 5, right?
No, because Sandberg only works if they have 10.
Oh, it's above 10. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. Kit doing kit stuff.
Yeah. Interesting if you res the Warite trackers here.
Yeah, once you spent the 6 credits to res Sand Sensitivity Grid, you like to keep it around if you can.
Yeah.
And
Barisha not being able to trash Sansan City Grid is a big deal here.
Yeah, if only he still had Maxwell James out for that link.
Yeah. Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, that was friends back. So
no, I suppose I didn't notice that either, because I guess he might not have been as inclined to trash it here.
Yeah.
So I suppose you could just lose your 2 Parishas?
I think that's
probably bad, but yeah. Well, I guess he doesn't really have any other option, unless he wants to give up his deck gear and his Magnum Opus.
Yeah. I mean, since he's on 6 points, and Kevin's pretty poor right now, and well, he'll bounce back up to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonas at least has a reasonable he's going to be able to take a poke at R&D or HQ next turn for sure, if he's so inclined. Having that Sandstone City Grid sitting on the table is probably making him feel, pretty bad.
Yeah. I don't know if Jonas has seen the Biotic, but that means that he can fast advance even 4/2s as long as that's around.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it looks fun.
Well, at least the MCA austerity policy is off the table, which is kind of nice as far as being on Opus economy, because so much for that.
It was good while it lasted. Yeah, back in there. Res it right back in there.
I suppose you just take a setup turn here. Jonas doesn't really seem like he's in position to do anything else but just take $6.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think that yeah, good call.
Yeah, but I mean, he still has the option to R&D lock. Kevin, I think it's evident that Kevin doesn't have any agendas in hand just because he'd be scoring them out. The question is
three ice is what you need to so at least Jonas doesn't know that the inner ice is macrophage and he can just waltz right through it. So he's probably looking at 3 deep R&D and is wondering whether he'll be able to get in. He can, he's got paper. No, he doesn't have paperclip in the bin. I thought he did. He's got nanotech in the bin. But he might not be sure that he can get into R&D at this point.
It's also significant that the outermost ice, I believe, is toll booth. So, you can inversificator that, but signing up to encounter the toll booth twice is a bit masochistic. Yeah. Jonas would love an ice res here. And, of course, there's nothing in there, so Kevin is not going to oblige. But it would not only turn... Ooh,
okay, and that's game. DC's got
no, he'll only be on 6, right?
Oh, sorry, that's 6 points.
Yeah, not everybody's harming that tech, unfortunately. I think this one doesn't seem like a very exciting successful field test, but it's worth 2 points, which is pretty good.
Is there a free click to draw before this? If you
Yeah, he has enough money for that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been a good thing to do, just because he has the biotics. If he had drawn 5/3, actually, he might not be. No, he is playing 5/3s.
Yeah, so you can. Okay, yeah, he didn't. Because if he had drawn before doing that, then he might have gotten another target for the field test when it fires.
Yeah.
But still good. Still pretty good.
He gets a free install of that pad campaign. Not bad. So,
God, the worst install, you still only have 3 clicks on this turn.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting if Jonas runs R&D, whether he elects to face the toll booth twice. I guess he gotta. I don't recall what the middle ice is.
Me neither.
Toll booth costs quite a bit. Cost 4, 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strength 5, so 4 to break, 3 for the pleasure of looking at it.
7.
Yeah, so it's like pretty. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so I guess he can break it exactly twice, and then hope that he doesn't hit a none or doesn't hit anything that will end the run with the last click. Or
Yeah.
for the last dose.
And actually, if he does that, he could res.
Oh,
that's an interesting call.
okay. Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Oof. Well, he's got the money to pay for the worst parts of it.
Yeah.
So Kevin's got a decent amount of econ coming in next turn, but he's going to be a little bit poor. Certainly too poor to immediately biotic. And score on
3-2, he can just put it in the on the Sansan.
Oh,
And
yeah.
if he draws a 4-2, then it's exciting and interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, it is pretty good to get this access. Jonas doesn't know the extent to which the next ice is garbage. He has run through it a lot. But at the same time, Kevin put the ice in his deck for a reason. You can't just assume that all of your opponent's cards are garbage. That's way too wishful thinking. Now, I suppose we could be thinking about counting agendas and have a decent idea, because we know there's 3 at the bottom. There's 3 in each person's score area.
Has he depleted a Maryland since?
I don't think he has.
I'm not sure.
This access would be, so if I'm counting right, that might be everything. Now, no, that can't be everything, right? Because, I think it is. I don't think he's depleted a Maryland since then. And if that is correct, that's really interesting because
then whoever can count cards better, and Jonas just builds up and then let it rip at the end.
Now, of course, Kevin has the option to trash a Maryland campaign anytime he wants.
Yeah.
What a cheeky thing to do. The one fun thing with the NSX there, Kevin can make a bunch of money here, doubling with the because he's got 3 pad campaigns and a Maryland campaign. He can gain 8 credits. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure with Kevin putting that in the remote, Jonas is thinking crap. This is terrible. But he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, so Kevin's going to be fabulously well-to-do with all these counters.
I love NASX. What a wacky extra ability this pad campaign has. Yeah, not so. It doesn't combo off itself, right? Oh yeah, other than NASX.
No.
That's good. Oh, it's very important that makes Sandberg stronger. That's very interesting. I hadn't thought of that because Sandberg has mostly been chilling unimportant most of the game. Beth Kilran Chang is pretty cool here.
Yeah, that will be good. I hope he gets to use it for a turn or 2.
Yeah.
So, really, in Verse Brigadier Kit, God, Sandberg makes things hard to deal with. But he's still got a way to get in.
Yeah. Now, interestingly here is I think we're going to get a shuffle before the corpse draw soon. And that's going to mean that he's shuffling in. He has a R&D of 10 cards, or maybe 11 cards, and 3 of them are agendas. That one isn't.
Yeah.
I suppose he has enough money. He could even, with the 3 biotics, he could even draw. Oh, he did. So he can draw and hope to find an agenda there, but no such luck.
Ooh, R&D is looking juicier and juicier.
Yeah, there's a 1 and 3 in R&D. Now, one interesting question is, does Jonas have any more multi-access than the Maker's Eyes? Have we seen, say, Equivocation or Medium? It doesn't have.
He's used 1 influence.
2 influence.
2
Yeah, counting
influence.
influence, we're not seeing a lot of it.
3. 4. So we've only seen 4 of the influence that he's got available.
Yeah, he might have. I guess there's only 10 to spend.
Yeah.
Interesting that Jonas decided to credit up again. Probably correct, just thinking that he couldn't get through the server with as little ice as he has. Now Kevin, again, has the option to draw for an agenda with the 3 biotics and the Sansan. And there he is. I think he can do it from there. Biotic, yeah. That's pretty sick.
Wow. He didn't even need to use the last biotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice job,
Nice.
man.
Man, well played by both of them.
Yeah, that was a great game. There were no ice in there. Maryland campaign was really interesting there in terms of shuffling the deck when it did.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
That was a game. Whew.
That was quite a match, both of you.
Yeah, that was a really great game.
Hey, and we learned about the Jinteki command, move bottom. That was cool. I did not know that one. Very useful.
Yeah, soon to be much more relevant.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That was Kevin. We were talking about there were some really interesting lines of play you had with the MCA austerity policy for the supermoons install.
Yeah, I don't think we saw that line, and once we saw it, we were like, "Wow, that is very cool."
Yeah.
I really wanted to shore up some econ and get moons. I mean, once you get 4 or 5 counters on moons, it's really hard to deal with, right? So, and you got to deal with it.
Yeah, because we were just looking at it like, oh, he's got the biotic, or he's got the ABT in hand of the MCA, but just cashing in your MCA for a biotic is pretty mediocre. And especially he already has the Sansan in play. Like, what does he need to MCA ABT? And you came up with something much more exciting to do with it than scoring out.
Play I made when you trashed my MCA. I have a Sandberg and 10 that I forgot about.
Yep.
Which would have kept you out of that server because I think you were down to 1 credit, or you wouldn't have been able to trash it or something like that. The one where you lost.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was like,
I would have always been able to trash it, but yeah, I probably would have been out of the server.
Kevin, can you resol on your ice? I'm curious. I don't think I quite caught it.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I know
what the inner R&D ice is. I'm pretty sure about that one.
Macrophage?
What do you think it is?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was just going to be useless, and you were going to move it around or something, and I was like,
Yeah.
Whoa.
Man, those are big
That's
numbers.
a server.
Yeah, my strategy was try and not lose off of your accesses because I didn't want you to move stuff around until I wanted, until it was I had enough money and stuff.
Yeah, Gauntlet and Inversificator make Rezzing Ice very scary.
Yeah, that Maxwell James was really cool in there too. I thought that was really nice splash and a good use of the 1 influence out of 10 or 2, I guess, if you have 2 copies in there.
It was a tricky play, but it was a little bit too little too late there because, I mean, he was already on infinite money at that time. He had all the pads and everything. And so I denied him $8, but like I had to spend a lot of money to get in there, and I didn't really have any pressure anywhere else anyways.
Yeah,
so my thumbs.
The NASX actually did a lot of work there in terms of getting you to a scary credit total for your Sandberg instead of just an inconvenient one.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. It's just there for that one time, just to like boost up real fast.
Yeah, what a cool card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonas, I thought that the deck deer was really cool included in here as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
What did I do?
The deck deer.
Deck deer.
Oh, the deck deer was basically because I knew I was playing against HB, so I knew I don't need to put in feedback filter. I don't need to put in levy or same. Well, I do need to put in same old thing for like multi-axis and stuff. But I took out all of my like tag stuff and net damage stuff, and I put in like I couldn't even think of enough stuff to put in. I had personal touch in there, but like I had 3 stim hacks. I had 3 Maxwell James. But yeah, I mean, the idea is just like I was trying to go for. I knew he was on asset spammy stuff. You can't even control it. Like it just got way out of control way too quick.
Yeah, the personal touch is a cool include. That's just a neat economy card. I was disappointed we didn't get to see it in action.
I was just always on my back.
Yeah. You didn't have the time for it. Yeah.
The
MCA is so cruel when you're just clicking, 3 times or 4 times for Magnum Opus.
Yeah. The Wampoa was very interesting. I just included it for the first time to play against you.
That did so much work. Like I recognized, like, oh man, this guy's got to go. Like the second you kept burying agendas over and over and over again, I was like, I can't put any pressure on you anymore. I can't make you rid stuff on centrals because you're just gonna get rid of your agendas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, one very exciting thing with Wampoa Reclamation is that at a certain point in the game, counting agendas, all 3 of the remaining agendas were in the bottom of R&D. And so
what happens, though, is Maryland shuffles it back.
Yeah. We were just looking at that Maryland ticking down, like, like game time coming up. Yeah.
So that's like what I'm dependent upon is the Maryland to reshuffle. Otherwise, like I can't see them again, right? So like I really need Maryland to shuffle them. Yeah,
because just I guess sitting with 8 points of agendas on the bottom of R&D is not a good look. No. But yeah, those Maryland campaigns are really cool, and I guess you have enough assets that you have the option if you want to force the reshuffle early if that is of interest to you. That's a really cool interaction.
I was trying preemptive, and I never liked putting things in the bin because like people just ran it, and I felt like I would lose. And then I had special report, but that's 2 influence as well.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather just have something to install.
Yeah, and I guess your econ is hardy enough that you can pay the three more than you would with Jacko Howard.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I wonder if like we're gonna see like showing off as like a cool tech card to wreck people in the future, because that card has always been a very very funny joke, but it's never actually like been good. But if Wampoa like takes off, it could happen.
Is that legal in Cash Refresh?
It's an order in chaos, so it's legal to some people.
All right, so you got to really dig deep there.
It's legal to Doug here. He's probably like licking his chops. Like,
that's actually I kind of like that.
I mean, you have 63 cards. Don't tell me it can't make the cut. Like, build script is in the deck.
Yeah.
Do it.
Is your runner undefeated, Doug?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Dude, let's talk about how busted MCA. What is it? MCA posterity
policy? Yeah.
That card just busted.
That card is very, very, very good.
Yeah.
In a format, especially where it's really hard to trash assets and stuff like that, it's something that you absolutely have to trash. It's like, I mean, I kind of compare it to like public support, where it ticks down 3 times and you get a random point or something like that once it's done. But this one, you get 4 free clicks and you drain 3 clicks from your opponent.
You get more than a turn. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I really don't understand the balance on this card. Like I mean, I know that like res and trash costs are hard to get right, but this one just seems way off.
I suppose sometimes it feels like the power of a card and the trash cost are correlated when they should be inversely correlated. So at least MCA informed austerity policy doesn't make me think about that. Yeah. Like 3, okay, that's a lot, but like it's not like Jesus model by rights.
Okay. Yeah.
That was kind of a funny play there at the end, Jonas, where like I was just looking for an agenda and I had 3 biotics, so I was just like draw.
Yeah, I really like that you saw that you're like, I have these biotics, I can score with 1 click. I'm just going to keep on drawing. That was very sharp.
Well, and if I drew the GFI, I could just use the Wampoa. So I was like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is pretty smart.
Oh, true. Oh, so it's like really I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it's like really consequence free to just find those agendas. Yeah.
Anyways, hey guys, that was a really fun match, and I need to kind of wrap up. But
yeah,
sure, yeah, of course.
Jonas, nice job. I hope
great games.
Beating you doesn't keep you from the cut.
It might, but that's okay. You're well deserving, and I'm happy to root for you for the second match.
I thought you kind of had me there because you just picked those agendas off, and I was like, ugh. I feel like this is how Moon's Dex plays. Like you can play from 6 down and win.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, those were great games. Thank you guys so much for going on stream and talking to us about it. And Sanjay, your contributions were amazing and insightful.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you got. My misplays and whatnot. So it's always fun.
It was clean games all around. You guys played some really, really strong games. It was great to watch.
Well, thanks a lot for streaming it, and it was a pleasure playing with you, Kevin, and Sanjay, Doug. Thanks a heck of a lot for streaming. You guys great work.
It was fun. Yeah, we'll see you guys around. All right. Good luck in the rest of your games, if there are games.
Later.
Peace.
All right. Well, I guess live from Cash Refresh, signing off.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing it. Thanks for doing the work, Doug.
Yeah. No, thank you for participating. And I look forward to streaming with you again sometime soon.
Yeah. All right. Later.
All right. Peace.